Today we will be discussing on neat applications on force act on a rectangular coil when that coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field, and we will discuss on moving coil galvanometer. So how to convert that galvanometer into ammeter and galvanometer into voltmeter. So lastly we will discuss about Bohr magneton. So let me start with that of torque act on a rectangular coil when the coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field. So let me consider that rectangular coil here. So on that rectangular coil, torque is act. So torque act on the rectangular coil. Torque act on rectangular coil when placed in uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field. So in theory class you derived that expression. So torque tau is equal to m into b sin theta, where m indicates that magnetic moment here. So this m value I will take that m is equal to n into b into I into a here. Sorry, n into I into a. So what's that magnetic moment here? N into I into a. So m value is what? M is equal to magnetic moment, its value is n I into a here, or otherwise I will rewrite this equation wherever m is there, n b I a sin theta. What is the expression for torque act on the coil when the coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field here? So torque tau is equal to n b I a sin theta here. So now let me consider that when the torque is maximum. So if it is perpendicular to the magnetic field, then torque is maximum. So that is m into b or n b I into a I will consider here. Now, so whenever the rectangular coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field, then a torque is act on the rectangular coil, I said. So by using this principle, I can able to construct that moving coil galvanometer. So in case of that moving coil galvanometer, so in case of that moving coil galvanometer, so I will consider that spring here. So when that of torque is act on that of rectangular coil, that rectangular coil is get tilt by certain angle here. So if it get tilt means whenever the current is flowing through the rectangular coil, so it will get tilt. So in the sense current is directly proportional to theta. So from this equation, whenever that current is flowing in the rectangular coil, then restoring torque is equal to deflecting torque. So restoring torque is equal to deflecting torque. So deflecting torque is NBIA and restoring torque is equal to k theta. So from that first PU topic, restoring torque is equal to deflecting torque here. So now let me consider that a theta value here. So for example, I will consider that a constant value here. So look at here. So k is equal to what? So k is equal to NB IA divided by theta here. So what's that k value here? So constant k is equal to NB IA, or otherwise I will consider, so this equation, so I is equal to what? I is equal to k divided by, so I is equal to k divided by NB A into theta here. So I is equal to what? K divided by NBA. So that k divided by NBA I will take it as a galvanometer constant. So that G is equal to k divided by NBA, where k represent that spring constant here. So k divided by NBA is equal to Z means, so above equation I can write that. So I equal to G into theta, or I is proportional to theta. So it means that, so if the current is more, deflection is also more. So current produced in the galvanometer is directly proportional to theta here. So if maximum current is flowing means, so in this situation coil will get deflect more. So that is current is directly proportional to deflection here. So from that moving coil galvanometer I would like to consider that current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity, the term. So what is current sensitivity and what is voltage sensitivity, I need to understand here. So first let me consider that current sensitivity. Current sensitivity, let this one is S of I. So current sensitivity is nothing but it is the deflection produced per unit current here. So S of I is equal to theta divided by I, deflection produced per unit current. So where S of I is equal to theta by I means, so what's that theta represents here? So theta value, shall I take this theta value as a, so theta is equal to what? NBIA divided by K here. What's that theta value here? NBIA divided by K into I. I term will getting cancelled out. So current sensitivity formula S of I is equal to NBA divided by K. What is that current sensitivity formula here? S of I is equal to NBA divided by K here. Next one is voltage sensitivity. Voltage sensitivity, S of V here. What is that voltage sensitivity here? So voltage sensitivity also gives the same meaning. So deflection per unit voltage, so that is theta by V here. So where V is equal to I into R from that Ohm's law. So theta is equal, sorry, S of V is equal to theta divided by I into R. So let me fill that theta value. So wherever theta is there, NBIA divided by K into IR. So I term will getting cancelled out. So S of V is equal to what? So S of V is equal to NBA divided by K into R. So this is the required expression for that. So voltage sensitivity. So current sensitivity is nothing but deflection per unit current. Here voltage sensitivity means deflection per unit voltage here. So if I want to construct that ammeter as well as voltmeter. So ammeter and voltmeter are converted galvanometers. So in order to avoid the damages of that galvanometer, or galvanometer is very sensitive device. So in order to avoid the damages of the galvanometer, I need to convert galvanometer into a ammeter here. So for the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter, so I would like to consider that. So let me write it here. Conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. Galvanometer into ammeter here. So in order to convert that galvanometer into a ammeter, so what shall I do here? For example, here this is one galvanometer. So parallel to this galvanometer, I would like to consider one a low resistance. That low resistance also I would like to consider as a shunt resistance here. So its value is S here. A suitable low resistance connect parallel to the galvanometer, then this galvanometer behaves as a ammeter. So for example, I want to prevent the damages of the galvanometer. For example, if I amount of current is directly passes into the galvanometer, means it may be a possibility of damages here. So in order to avoid the damages of galvanometer, for example, from that KCL law, so current is getting split up here. So KVL, so Kirchhoff current law here. So current I is there. So some amount of current is passes through the galvanometer and remaining current will passes through the low resistance wire. So I said that. So S is low resistance or shunt resistance value. So its value is very much less than that of galvanometer resistance here. So in the sense, out of I amount of current, very small amount of current is passes through the galvanometer and remaining amount of current is passes through the low resistance wire. For example, if this resistance is low, means maximum amount of current is passes through this wire here. So that I of S is equal to what? I minus of Ig here. So now what is the value of this shunt resistance I need to find out. So I said that in order to convert galvanometer into ammeter, suitable low resistance I need to convert. So suitable low resistance I need to connect parallel to the galvanometer. What's that low resistance value here? So that low resistance, or so I would like to consider by another name, that is shunt resistance. So its value is, so S is equal to Ig into G divided by I minus of Ig. Let me know the term here. I of G means current through the galvanometer. Capital Z indicates that galvanometer resistance. So I represents that range of the ammeter here. So Ig means current through the galvanometer. current through galvanometer here. So I of G is nothing but current through the galvanometer. So G represents that galvanometer resistance here. So G represents galvanometer resistance and I represents that range of ammeter here. So now what is that total or effect resistance here? So effect resistance I need to find out here. So for example, total resistance. So these two are connected in parallel combination, 1 by G plus of 1 by S, or R is equal to G into S divided by G plus of S here. What is that total resistance in case of this circuit here? R is equal to G into S divided by G plus of S. What will be that current through this shunt resistance here? So I of S is equal to, I of S is equal to I into S divided by G plus of S. So this is the required formula for the current through the low resistance wire. So this is about conversion of galvanometer into ammeter here. So look at here, in order to convert galvanometer into ammeter, suitable low resistance I need to connect parallel to the galvanometer, then it behaves as a ammeter here. So what is that ideal resistance of the ammeter here? So ideal resistance of the ammeter is 0 here. So if that resistance is very much small, means so it won't get damaged. Why? Because maximum amount of current is passes through this low resistance wire only. So in order to measure that current in that any circuit, so what should be the nature of connection here? Or ammeter I need to connect series to the circuit or parallel to the circuit. So look at here, in order to convert galvanometer into a ammeter, low resistance is parallel to the galvanometer. So now this entire setup is behaves as a ammeter now. So this entire setup is behaves as a ammeter. For example, in any circuit, I want to find out that current through any circuit. So in order to measure current in any circuit, ammeter should be connect series to the circuit. Why? Because in case of that series combination, current is remains same. So for that purpose, in order to measure that current in any circuit, ammeter should be series to the circuit. So don't get confused here. In order to convert galvanometer into ammeter, low resistance is parallel to the galvanometer. In order to measure current in any circuit, ammeter should be connect series to the circuit here. So similarly, I want to convert that galvanometer into a voltmeter here. So in order to convert that galvanometer into voltmeter, what suppose I have to do here? So in order to convert galvanometer into voltmeter, a suitable high resistance I need to connect series to the galvanometer. So look at here. Next I would like to consider conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter here. Conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. So in order to convert that galvanometer into voltmeter, for example, this is my galvanometer. So to this galvanometer, I should connect that suitable high resistance series to the galvanometer. Then this entire setup is act as a voltmeter. So look at here, in order to convert this galvanometer into a voltmeter, so I have to connect suitable high resistance series to the galvanometer. Then this entire setup is behaves as a voltmeter here. So now what is the value of that high resistance I need to find out? So R is equal to V divided by Ig minus of G. What should be the value of high resistance I need to connect series to the galvanometer in order to convert galvanometer into a voltmeter? So where V means range of voltmeter, V means range of the voltmeter, I of G indicates that current through the galvanometer, here, where G represents that galvanometer resistance. What's that G represents here? So G represents that galvanometer resistance here. So now let me consider that in case of that conversion of galvanometer into a voltmeter, what should be the ideal resistance of this voltmeter, so it may offers that infinite resistance. Why? Because current should not pass from that point A to point B, so ideal resistance should be infinite here. What should be the ideal resistance in case of that voltmeter? Ideal resistance of the voltmeter is infinite here. So hope you are understanding these things. So now for example, in case of that atomic structure, for example, nucleus is at the center, all the electrons are revolving around the nucleus, I said. So if that electrons are nothing but a charge particle, right? So if the charge particle is moving, means current is produced. So whenever that current is produced, means of course magnetic field should be present. So in order to understand that magnetic moment of a charge particle, so I need to understand the concept of Bohr magneton. So in theory class already you derived that expression, so I need to consider the value of Bohr magneton. So magnetic moment M is equal to N into mu of B, where mu of B is nothing but a Bohr magneton. So mu of B represents that Bohr magneton value here. So its value mu of B is equal to E into H divided by 4 pi M. What is the formula for the Bohr magneton here? Mu of B is equal to E into H divided by 4 pi M. So its value, so if you substitute the charge on the electron, Planck's constant and mass of the electrons, so finally I got that equation 9.27 into 10 to the power of minus 24 ampere meter square. So this is all about a